Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news, folks. We've got some intriguing rumors swirling around the NFL lately, and for Bills fans, it's impossible not to pay close attention. The buzz is that the New York Jets, currently sitting at 2-5 and struggling defensively, might be making a bold move to shake things up. And the player at the heart of this potential blockbuster, Quinnen Williams, one of the premier defensive tackles in the league today. Now, this isn't just idle gossip. It comes from credible sources like ESPN, and the idea is that the Jets, in the middle of a rebuild, are considering trading Williams to the Bills. Yeah, you heard that right, Buffalo. And the reason makes a lot of sense if you really analyze the Jets' situation. The Jets, despite having a decent defense historically, are faltering this year. They're ranked 26th in the league in sacks per game, averaging just 2.2, which is quite low for a team that once had aspirations of being dominant on defense. Their interior line, especially after losing players like Jones to a calf injury and Carter to IR with a knee injury, is noticeably weakened. The Jets are also trying to rebuild their entire roster, focusing heavily on developing their quarterback, Zach Wilson, and fixing the offensive line, which is ranked 24th and allowing about 3 sacks per game. Their defense, which we all know is supposed to be a strength, is allowing a staggering 148 yards per game in the run game, and that's simply not good enough for a team with playoff ambitions. Now, why would they part ways with Quinnen Williams? Well, the Jets are facing a cap crunch, with about $78 million in cap space, but they're also trying to allocate resources differently. Their priority right now is to rebuild with a focus on the quarterback position, and they're skeptical about investing heavily in a premium defensive tackle, especially one that's not in the middle of a contract extension. Moreover, the Jets are looking at their current roster and realize that their run defense is leaky. They're conceding too many yards, and their overall defensive efficiency isn't matching expectations. With Williams, though, there's a different story. The guy is an absolute game changer, an all-pro player who's been a force since he entered the league in the 2019 draft. Williams, the third overall pick in 2019, has been a dominant interior defender, especially in recent seasons. His stats speak volumes: 48 sacks, 126 QB hits, and an impressive 98 PFF grade over the last 2 years. In 2025 alone, he's already amassed 5 sacks, 24 pressures, and a 22% win rate, which is outstanding for a defensive tackle. His EPA per pressure sits at -0.33, indicating how disruptive he's been on the field. And let's not forget, he's a player who excels in run stopping, ranking among the top 5 defensive tackles with just 3-4 yards after contact forced in run stuffs, ranking second in the league. His double-team rate is around 28%, which shows how much offenses have to dedicate resources to block him, something that opens up opportunities for other defenders. What makes Williams even more intriguing is his ability to produce pressures and sacks without needing constant double teams. This season, he's been healthy, with no injuries reported, and he's been on the field 92% of the snaps, earning a PFF grade of 91. 8 in their game against the Steelers. If he continues this trajectory, projections suggest he could reach 11 or more sacks in a season, averaging over 8 sacks per year in a rotational role, with about 3 QB hits per game. For the Bills, adding a player like Williams would be a massive upgrade for their interior defensive line, especially considering their current ranking of 20th in sacks per game, with just 2.6 sacks. Buffalo's defense has been solid but not exceptional this season. They've been reliant on their pass rush, with players like Von Miller, who has 3.5 sacks, providing leadership and experience. But adding Williams alongside Ed Oliver, who already has 5 sacks and a high PFF grade of 86.4, could elevate their pass rush to another level. This is particularly important against teams like the Jets, who are struggling in their offensive line and could be vulnerable to a disruptive interior presence. The Bills are known for their aggressive defense, and a player of Williams' caliber would allow them to generate more turnovers, something they've been slightly below average in this season, with a +1.6 turnover margin per game. Now, the Jets' perspective on this potential trade is quite pragmatic. Sale and the Jets' front office are focusing on their rebuild, emphasizing youth and cap flexibility. They're prioritizing extending Zach Wilson, who they see as their quarterback of the future, and trying to improve their offensive line, which is allowing too many sacks. The defense, which should be a strength, is currently ranked 27th in EPA per run allowed, conceding 142 yards per game on the ground. The idea of trading away Williams, a 26-year-old star, might seem counterintuitive to some. But in the NFL, sometimes tough decisions are necessary to free up cap space, around $24 million, so they can make strategic moves, especially before the NFL trade deadline on November 4th. From the Bills' perspective, acquiring Quinnen Williams isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about transforming their entire front four, making it one of the most dominant units in the league. With Ed Oliver already making an impact, adding Williams could turn the Bills into a top 5 defense in sacks, with projections indicating they could reach around 40 sacks per game. That's a huge leap from their current 2. 6. The presence of Williams would also help in stopping the run, projected to improve by about 1.5 EPA per stop versus Jets running backs, who are averaging 146 yards per game. And let's talk about the overall impact. A front four featuring Oliver, Williams, and Von Miller would be a nightmare for offenses, especially with the Bills' secondary, though currently hampered by injuries, like the absence of Rapp with his knee issue. Their pass rush could become a real X-factor, especially against mobile quarterbacks like Tua Tagovailoa of the Dolphins, where the Bills have struggled to generate consistent pressure. Williams would provide that interior push that could collapse pockets and create chaos, much like how the Eagles' Hargrave has been doing this season, making them serious contenders in the AFC. Looking at the bigger picture, the odds for the Bills to win the Super Bowl have already improved significantly, from +50 to +200, thanks to the potential addition of a disruptive force like Williams. His ability to collapse the pocket and generate sacks would elevate the Bills' defense to a new level, making them true contenders in the AFC. If they manage to secure him before the deadline, it could be the move that transforms their Super Bowl aspirations into reality, especially with Allen leading the offense and a revitalized defense anchoring their efforts. Now, picture this: a Bills defense that's better at creating turnovers, getting pressure on the quarterback, and stopping the run. That's an elite defense, and with Williams, that's very much within reach. It's not just about individual stats, it's about the collective impact. His presence could be the catalyst that pushes this team over the top, allowing them to compete with the best in the league, and who knows, maybe finally lifting that Lombardi trophy they've been chasing for so long. And as fans, we all know how crucial a dominant defensive line can be in the playoffs. Think about the Rams from 2021 or the Eagles this season. Having a disruptive interior presence can change the entire complexion of a game. Quinnen Williams has the talent, the production, and the age to be that difference maker for the Bills. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time if it happens. The Bills are already a formidable team, but with this addition they could become unstoppable, especially in the high-pressure moments of the postseason. The AFC is stacked, but if Buffalo pulls this off, they could be the team to beat. Now I want to hear what you guys think about this potential blockbuster trade. Would you like to see Williams in Bills colors? Do you think it's worth the risk, or do you believe the Jets will hold on to him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions are what make this community great, and I'm sure many of you are just as excited as I am about the possibilities. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for all the latest Buffalo Bills news. We're in an exciting time for this team, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Bills.